Retweet the room. Avery Piper, see you down there. You can definitely come on up or join us here on Restream. The link's in Discord for you there, my friend. But definitely retweet the room. We'll let some people get here, and can't wait. We're gonna have a great conversation. You can also watch this live. I'll put that pinned tweet up on the top on Paris Shilton, and that's what we're actually viewing in right now. You can type in either Novoverse or Paris Shilton, and it'll pop up Paris Shilton NFT to actually watch this live video, which I'm retweeting right now, and I hope you all do it as well. We're going to be talking with Avery Piper from 2 and 4, and also Punk 4569, a fellow clown as well, up in the house here on this Sunday fun day in the Novoverse. What's up, Concept? Hope all is well. Michelle as well. Thank you guys for listening. Retweet. You got a whole bunch of people watching right now live as well. AP, what's going on, my friend?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I hear you wonderfully loud and clear. We also have it's a fellow clown nose, Punk 4569 here. As well, Avery, and I'm excited to have a conversation with other punk holder and clown nose. And AP, how have you been, my friend?
I'm amazing. Yeah, I took a short vacation to Mexico, which was amazing, and I got a little bit of sun, and I miss it tremendously here in New York. But it's nice. It's nice to take a little break, go somewhere warm, come back to the absolute freezing cold, which Novo, I know you know very well. Over this past week, I've heard it's been absolutely insane in the Midwest/northern regions of the U.S. So, yeah, it's been tough. It's been a tough. It's kind of a crazy winter. It's taken a couple winters to get this nuts, but anyways, it's good to be here, and yeah, I'm good. How are you?
It has been freezing. I want to say what's up to all the people watching on Twitch and on YouTube as well. Thank you for watching. You are watching the Novoverse. That was Avery Piper. I want to welcome all my aliens, apes, and zombies who are listening on either Spaces or watching live. And yeah, it has been like pretty ridiculous cold, and I had the same thing. I was able to go on a little holiday, get out of here, get some warmth. And then coming back to the Snowmageddon or the Siberia, because it's Chicago, so sometimes Siberia.
I love it.
And I know that Punk 4569 is actually 4 a.m. So he's across the pond over there. Well,
crazy.
But want to pull him.
Yeah.
Just
all wild.
Into the conversation. What's the weather like over over by where you're at, if you don't mind talking?
Yeah, it's been absolutely freezing here, so we're all like huddling over in the UK. I'm based in London, and yeah, we've had snow in the last week, and yeah, very, very cold. Yeah. Keep them warm.
Yeah, got to stay warm. So fellow ClownpunkX.eth, pretty much really relaxed show here. Avery Piper, host of 2 and 4. It's a 2-minute and 4-second podcast where he asks real quick questions to some of the alphas within the space. And AP, I saw some new content leaked out with Seafood, good friend Seafood NFT prior to you going on vacation. Tell us a little bit about that little interview, or episode 15 you're on already.
Yeah, I'm cooking away. It's not the most difficult thing when they're fast podcasts, but I do like to ask in-depth questions. I think, yeah, I mean, a lot of my questions have been around like what people practice, what people care about. I kind of try to get to the core of people's philosophy rather than specifics. Like Sifu talked a little bit about how he was kind of obsessive about things, and I was talking to him about like practicing the fundamentals of life, whatever those things are that we do. Engineers practice with code, or musicians practice with long tones or with scales, or we all have these things in our lives which I think keep us grounded. And I was talking a little bit about how I think sometimes for me in the past it's been a way for me to kind of not grow. It's a way for me to stay in the same spot by practicing the fundamentals too much, where I get scared to move on and do the next thing. But yeah, I guess in that vein, 4569, I'm wondering from you, like, what have you felt? If Novo, if I can ask this, I guess, what have you felt? What are the things that you've kind of kept close as you've grown up? Like, what are the things, or maybe have changed over time, but what do you keep close in terms of the things that you practice or your daily habits? Or is there anything that like keeps you whole and sane and one with the earth?
Yeah, I think for me, it's about kind of energizing myself through challenge, just trying different things. I've had like an intriguing journey, which I can share. But I mean, I've challenged myself through business startups, media startups, and then art, music. I mean, it's just about trying new things for me. I mean, this is what keeps me alive. And I think I'll be doing it until my last breath, actually. So it's always about new ideas, academia. Yeah, it's been a long journey and an interesting one.
Totally. I think you're in the right space for that too. It sounds like Web3 is ripe for exactly what you're looking for. So yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why you're here.
Absolutely. It's interesting because, I mean, it kind of like, it's an intersection of, finance, art, technology. These are all things I'm interested in. So it's the perfect space for me.
It's awesome. Novo, any questions, or you want to take the show in a different direction?
To NFD, thanks for listening in, following now, wasn't following before, VFriends holder. But yeah, almost back to that same philosophy, AP, where this is a very creative space where, able to come on with maybe a longer form podcast form in the Novoverse, where we're able to branch it out into multiple either metaverses or Web 2 experiences like Twitch, all the people watching on Twitch, what's up, and people on YouTube. But then going down to the short form like you're doing with 2 and 4, and all that branching in with what are the habits? I mean, habitually for me is coming on Sunday, 9:00. It's like my free time to actually, not only that, but catch up with you. We've been the last couple of Sundays been on other ends of the planet, other time zones, but still able to touch base on Sundays to see what's going on in the space, what's growing in the space, and what's new with each other. So it is keeping that friendship circle connected through Web3 means. And to see you chatting with Seafood, it's like all of a sudden, like, oh man, you got an interview with Seafood. And last time we met, we were at an Adidas meetup in New York. And it just branches from a conversation there. And I believe he is a shirt holder of yours as well. And seeing where that culminated into, a 2 minute and 4 second answer. So long term for me, and I know that's more than 2 minutes and 4 seconds, but just to see how the relationships still grow, even between you and Seafood, and how that question just kind of culminates between what we do either as a hobby or what we do as connecting back with people within our friendship circles.
Totally. I think, Novo, and just to that point, I've been thinking a lot about, even in my life, how there's points where I think we're talking a little about growth here and what growth means for all of us too. There's points in our lives where there's people or there's situations, places where maybe we don't want to associate ourselves with that thing anymore, whatever it is. And it that's can be early on in our lives, later in our lives, last week, next week, can be whenever. But I think an important part of my life has been, especially Novo, our relationship for me has been important because, like you said, there's some consistent thing about it. There's also like some level of responsibility that I feel even in our friendship and in the Web3 space. And it's easy to just check out, I think, for a lot of people, like in this space, for better or for worse. And just to have some IRL friends, like to have some people who I know, who I speak to, who I've met in person, who I'm friends with, and it's not just a business relationship. I think that's really kept me alive and wanting to be here, and also kept me feeling responsible for my own life and helping me grow. So just to that point, that's one of the reasons that I do this too. And I wonder 659. What is it? Sorry,
4569.
There's a lot of 69 always involved here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm wondering, what's that been like for you? And also, like, even before that, how do you know Novo? Is this like a story that can be told here?
Well, I think it's really just I think Nova and I have been GMing quite a lot over the last
classic
6 months. But I think it is the classic Web3 introduction. We haven't met in IRL yet, but we're going to do that soon. But yeah, you just got to know the project, didn't you, through kind of having a look at my profile, the usual Web3 story. So a good one, I think.
It's probably
so I've got a little bit.
So what you're listening right now, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's speaking through CryptoNovo's mic there. If you're listening on Spaces, because we are simulcasting live, which you can see up in the pinned tweets. Also up in the tweet up top, you see Punk 4569 and art that is created AI, which we're going to be talking with an AI clown in a second here. It's going to be crazy. But going back to Punk 4569, the culmination is just those GMs going back between two CryptoPunk holders. One has blue clown eyes, and the other one has a clown nose. So going back, look, I got an Abraham Lincoln with a clown nose on it right behind me. having those DMs, having those retweets, helping communicate and broadcast for each other is all part of the community, and you can't spell community without unity, and that's just
yeah. I mean, I'd say that I think there's a beautiful little subset of CryptoPunks who are clowns. I mean, I think we're quite an interesting group, with some interesting projects going on. So I think I'm drawn to other clowns.
And maybe that's a good way to start right now. Is you do have an AI clown.
Well, I'm hoping that the AI clown is going to work, but it's it's going to hopefully he's going to emerge. So fire away, Novo.
Punk 4569 might mute himself from the live video broadcast, but going to be coming here on Spaces, and we'll see if the video works from there. Hold on, I'm going to put you on mute there, so hopefully that will get some echo out of the way. First question, let's see if it works. Hello, Clown Punk. How are you today? We'll give it a second for. There we go. Punk 4569, maybe mute me on the live video stream. And we'll just go into Spaces just so the echo kills. All right. There we go. We should hopefully just be on Spaces. No. Trying to get the audio figured out. Sorry. All right. Let's unmute it. All right, my friend. Sorry, there's an echo there because we are live streaming 2 for 1. Clown Punk, try to unmute yourself from Spaces here. Oh, we still have an echo. Trying to think.
We might have to.
We might have to go ahead.
Yeah, we might just have to have a chat. I'm not sure if it's going to work because I don't know if there's a way of getting rid of the echo.
Well, can you try telling me about yourself and what is a clown punk?
Yeah. Okay. So, Clown Punk. Are you talking about the AI?
Yeah. Try. No, try AI.
Okay. Let's go. Let's maybe talk about how this came about. So in August of 2022, I kind of took the plunge and bought myself a CryptoPunk, and it was a clown punk. I was really drawn to the clown traits and bought my punk. And then I started thinking, because I've got a background in art and technology. And I kind of thought, how can I kind of start working with my clown punk? And this is around about the time that AI kind of took off. So, I started experimenting with things like Stable Diffusion and DALI 3 and Midjourney, and started creating these images. And that was the beginning of the process. And that was nearly a year and a half ago now. And also alongside that, I kind of thought, well, maybe I can create a Twitter channel that is also the clown punk, that is so a kind of fictional projection of myself, a kind of alter ego. So the clown punk on X is actually a fictional presence who is an artist. So it's a kind of mediated form of myself, really, or an alter ego. So that's the concept. So
that's not a concept. That is perfect. That's exactly almost what I do IRL as well.
Yeah.
But I'm an artist, maybe an artist of making friends, but like the true art form of AI and what you have culminated and put that between, ClownpunkX.eth. Man, it's just like super cool. And that was like a huge reason, not only for following, but getting GMs, seeing what you're doing within the space. I was allured to it, and just to see, do you have, for that, did the clown fascination come first, or did the punk come first? What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because when I was looking to buy my punk, I kept on coming back to the clown trait. I think I'm just drawn because clowns are quite light, but they also can be quite dark. They're complex creatures, with quite an interesting psychological makeup, I think. So I was kind of drawn to that when I was choosing my punk. And as soon as I'd kind of got the punk, I was sort of thinking, how can I kind of explore this further? And actually, I think at that time I was going through a rather difficult phase in my life. There'd been some personal tragedy in my life, and I wanted a bit of lightness. So it started off as a kind of search for light, and then I kind of explored, many different parts of my own psyche through the project. So it's kind of as much an exploration of myself as an art project. So that's the beginning.
Man,
Yes.
beautiful. So how did you get into punks? Like, what was was it like digital art before that? Was it the wave of tweets going around, people changing their PFPs?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because I've been kind of involved with crypto since 2012. So I'm kind of like a bit of an OG on the crypto front. I kind of bought Bitcoin in 2012, and then kind of when ETH came out, I think it was 2016, followed the space very closely, and kind of, because I'm interested in art, I'm an artist, I was watching the NFT space, for quite a few years. And then I just thought, right, it's time to get involved. and I went straight in, and bought a CryptoPunk. It was actually my first ever NFT purchase. So I kind of like jumped in at the deep end. I'd never bought any NFTs before, and then I became really fascinated by the NFT space, as I, round about the time that I bought the punk.
How numbers align in a clown. How numbers align in a clown with a 6'9" just like works into it. I mean, it's weird how it is.
Yeah.
I think Punk all sixes is like a devilish looking one as well. Yeah, she's look like a hell spawn demon.
Yeah,
I think
that's a beautiful one. That I really like that. I've not seen that one before. That's just class.
Me neither. I've never seen that one. It looks awesome.
I think 69 is a fedora. Like it looks like almost like a pedophile, I guess. Yeah, like this guy. He looks and it's funny that numbers go into it. I forgot what 420 is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really
Exactly.
funny. I'd never thought to check out other 69s.
So
I'll be going
numbers
off.
Are out there. And I thought, here's Punk Zero for people that don't know that. And then it doesn't go up to 10,000. It goes up to 4 9s. That's the B-ball, the some nerd glasses there. But 45, 69. Was there anything to the number? Was that like an add to just because it has 6'9"? It kind of added a little.
That is really funny because you're getting me to think about this in a whole new way. Because obviously 69 has certain certain suggestions. But I'd never actually considered it until now. So, you're getting me to think about my punk in a new way, actually.
Yeah.
And when you purchased the punk 4569, did you see, maybe you already mentioned this, were you looking at the CryptoPunk's main website, and did you see it like listed, and were you looking like at a specific ETH price, or was it like you're just looking for this specific attribute, or like what was your number one shining star thing that you saw that you were like,
I think what I was doing was I was on the the main CryptoPunks Lava Labs website, just looking day after day after day. And in the end, I knew that, I could have gone down the road of looking at kind of the, valuation of different traits and so on, but actually it didn't really work that way. I just liked that particular punk. It was a purely aesthetic decision. I was drawn towards that one. Maybe somewhere in the back of my mind, the number 69 was relevant. I don't know, but I think it was the visual appearance. I think that I kind of wanted to buy it I think in terms of the pricing, it was just slightly above the floor. And that felt like the right place to be. So, I think it was mainly an aesthetic decision, actually.
I know, but that's the same story with yours, right? I think I think that's the same. I don't want to speak for Novo, but I think that's a similar situation to what Novo was looking at when he was looking at his punks, plural, or punk, this specific one he identifies with. I think when I heard about people doing that too, I think people was like, this one's me, and he also has a clown punk, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
you guys are definitely a crazy trio that needs to get together.
I think we're a very special group, the ClownPunks, and I think
agree.
that, that's why I kind of called my profile ClownpunkX. I just thought, just go for it, because it just says what I am.
You got the ETH name to match it as well. One that just sold today, and I just randomly clicked on it, and you can do what you want to do with numbers, but 6940 sold 18 hours ago. Straight up 80 up, for 205 ETH right there. It's a hoodie with VR glasses, albino, with a goatee as well. And we are talking with Punk 4569. We're talking a whole bunch of things, AI art, which we're going to start transitioning here to in a second. And if you're tuning in and listening down there, hang out, because we're going to be giving away a POAP here in about 5 minutes. We're going to be talking about art, which you can purchase as well. And if you're watching, you can see all the punks that we just kind of went through and looked at prior to this. Just, good old conversation here on this Sunday fun day with Avery Piper back in the States, back in the tundra of the upper Northwest, myself in Chicago. Punk 4569, same thing, staying warm, huddling in UK. And I guess we will start transitioning into the collection is generated through AI. Can you explain like the process of how you create these awesome images? And if you don't know the images that we're talking about, you can look up at the pinned tweet. It's a collection that I said it puts a smile on everyone's face. And you can see what ClownpunkX is bringing to AI and to art.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, some people think that AI art is, a kind of lazy process, but there are many different stages in the production of these images. So the first stage was actually just generating the images, and I originally generated 10,000 images, and there was a long process of. So it was kind of like looking at the concept. So I was using Stable Diffusion, and it was an earlier version of Stable Diffusion, an early release, which has a lot of imperfections, which I really like. And so I was just trying lots of different combinations of Clownpunk and just very random ideas that were coming into my mind to generate the original 10,000 images. And then the next kind of stage in the process was really curating those images down to 250 images. And this took about 3 months, because I was kind of just kept on going down these different roads, and then you're looking for images that work together as a collection. So, I mean, you'll see that most of the images are kind of head and shoulder type. Well, they're all head and shoulder type images, which kind of have a little bit of a PFP vibe about them, actually. I mean, there's a bit of a PFPs are a little bit out of fashion at the moment, but I kind of quite like that vibe. So there was a curation process, and then another process of resampling the images using a later release of Stable Diffusion, and then actually a post-production phase using tools such as Photoshop and various new AI tools within Photoshop, neural filters, to finish the pieces. So it took me about actually, it was nearly a year, I think, to finish all 250 pieces. And there are 50 of those actually currently up for sale on Foundation. So it was a long process. And I kind of went down the rabbit hole on it, I have to say.
I'm seeing a lot of really bright, vibrant colors with just with eyes that tell stories, like in every single one of them. And then that's outlined obviously with an accentuated clown type of smile, mouth arrangement that's accelerated. Very well thought out of, but the colors really stick out to me. I mean, is it like AP? Can you pinpoint it? Is like the fluorescence? Is it the? I mean,
well, that would have been in the sort of in the post-production phase. Yeah, I mean, because these are not these are certainly not like raw images that have just come out of AI. So I mean, I was kind of I was adjusting a lot of different things, and also manually intervening within the images. So on some of these images, I was actually almost like a painter using strokes to kind of create a sense of energy in the backgrounds. You can probably see that if you look at that central image there that we're looking at the moment with the red hat, you can see a kind of luminescence behind the figure, and that was actually an entirely manual process. So, I mean, for me, the production, it's very much a collaboration between a human presence and an AI kind of intelligence, and this is the way that I'm kind of seeing the whole project. It's not letting AI kind of run on. There's a collaborative process there for me.
Wanna see
But
what-
yeah, they sing. You know, for me, that I love like the colours, and you know, I've kind of gone for a vibrancy there.
Want to say what's up to Kimberly Danner watching in on LinkedIn. So thanks for watching in. We got people tuning in from LinkedIn. Blockchain Ninja.eth. Thank you for listening as well. You make that you making me crazy. If you need anything in there in cybersecurity, definitely hit him up. Seed, nice to see you, my friend. I think Seed, me, you, and Avery Piper. Last time we hung out. We were outside of like was it a Lamborghini dealership in New York with meditation. I can't remember that gentleman's name. But anyhow, I just want to say hello to everyone. Just kind of reset the show a little bit here. We are talking with Punk 4569, Avery Piper as well, co-host back every week. And this is CryptoNovo, and it's about time for a POEP. Yes, it's POEP time. I forgot, how does my song go again? Claim that POEP right.
That's it. I was going to say it, and I forgot it too, but we got it. We got it, Nova.
Something along those lines. So yeah, for your POEP, what you need to get that POEP is this. What do you got to do? Is the secret word? I always get the word mixed up. I think it's either the secret word or the secret phrase in POEP. You're going to type in clown, CLOWN, in your little POEP finder there, and that secret word or that secret phrase will get you a POEP for tonight's show, and it'll get you connected if you want to have a 2-minute and 4-second interview podcast. And hey, that's maybe a great idea, is get the AI clown on the 2 and 4 podcast.
That is a good idea.
You can hammer out a couple of those. And it also has the prices of all the coins that we track with Craig Coinpurse, who could not make it today, last day of his summer break because he's in the Southern Hemisphere. He's sweating his ass off down there in Australia. So he's taking the day off because it is daytime down there in Australia. And it's 3 a.m. In the UK, but it's never too late to get those POAP.
I'm 100% degen. That's why I'm here at 3:30 a.m. in the UK.
Claim that POEP right now. It's you can claim it by typing in clown to claim it. If not, if you're listening to this later, just DM me later and I'll just shoot you over a POEP as well for tonight's show. But what else is going on is this is all on Foundation. So people can go on Foundation. I know we were both heavily looking at it. I forgot we were actually having a live show. I was looking at art while you're explaining it to me live. Here live with the artist who you might hear coming out of CryptoNovo's voice if you're listening on Spaces. And this is ClownpunkX, who has generated this art AI from 10,000 pieces down to, what'd you say, 200 or 250?
Yeah, it's 250 images, but I've currently got 50 for sale on Foundation there. But there will be another 200 released over the next few months.
We're seeing a couple of them already in wallets right now. And then, the ones that you had right up here on Twitter. So make sure you're following and liking is there and retweeting as well. AP, Avery Piper, any questions?
No, it's cool to see the process, or you talk about your process, how it's almost like collaborative with AI, which I think is a really healthy way to like develop art and use AI. I think, one day AI is going to be so great that I think people are going to struggle with this relationship, because it's going to be much like we type into Google and we ask a question and Google answers it. One day AI will be so good that we don't have to take our time or don't have to get feedback. We just know it's so great and we release it to the world. We don't think about it. So we're in a kind of in between phase, both in Web3 and AI, in many aspects of the way technology is moving. So I think it's fascinating how you do both and you use it that way. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. I'm not saying that using AI by itself and not even thinking about it and not printing stuff out is a bad way to do it. But And one last thing I want to say is I think it's really cool how all of these really truly have a theme. And the same way that CryptoPunks, you're going to know what a CryptoPunk is, regardless if it's with the group of CryptoPunks or if it's by itself. You see it and it's a CryptoPunk. I think the same way with this art, it makes me feel that way. So if I were to see this, now that I've seen the collection one time, if I were to see one piece standalone, I think I would recognize it as Punk 4569's artwork.
Yeah,
So I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, a lot of people have said to me that this is very, very distinctive and different. And I've just kind of gone down a road and I've just kept going, basically. And I think that kind of curation process is what makes it distinctive, because there's a huge amount of diversity in the 10,000 original images generated, and the process of like really distilling it down to these 250 images, it's very distinct in that, I've kind of chosen, well, I've changed my mind literally probably thousands of times here. But it's interesting that you mentioned the whole kind of human AI collaboration phase, because we're in that at the moment. But you also mentioned maybe the danger that we're just going to go pure AI and not think anymore. And I think that this is a really interesting time where we can collaborate with AI, but there's always that danger that we become a bit lazy. So let's see what happens. I mean, I'm an optimist.
Yes, I think I'm very bad at math because Google can do math for me, which is like I think the metaphor here. I wonder what it's going to be like for me in the future when I want to make something, and when it's available at a press of a button, the same way that I don't have to hunt my food anymore. I can go outside 1 block away and get whatever I want from anywhere around the world. It's really interesting
because I've just found it so empowering, like AI. I mean, I have been writing Python code. I've been like developing my own, because another thing that I'm a trader as well. So I mean, I've been writing algorithms, Python algorithms for the first time. I'm not using external developers. I wrote the code in the smart contract. I mean, we haven't talked about the grin notes, but there's a sort of another angle to the ClownpunkX collection, which is the meme coin parody grin notes NFTs. And those are exchangeable for ETH, actually, and I'm going to be kind of airdropping those to different people who've been involved in the project and collectors, and they can actually exchange those for ETH via a smart contract that I wrote, but I have had that audited and checked with a developer, and I wrote it myself using ChatGPT. Incredible, mind-blowing. Yeah, I mean, it's just empowering.
It is. It's Spaces actually just logged us off, but we are still live on Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn. But yeah, people, let's see if we can get this tuned right back in. Are still watching. So thanks for watching. And the listeners on Spaces, if you're tuning in now, listening in live, or even if it is recorded, that POAP, you can type in Clown, CLOWN, and claim a free POAP. If not, shoot me a DM if you're listening on record later. We're looking at Foundation, and then you can look at the collections, and it's /ClownpunkX. Was that a pretty easy domain name to claim there? Was ClownPunk taken?
Well, it was ClownpunkX.xyz, but yeah, the .com I think was probably taken, but yeah, it was available. So yeah, I went straight in there. Yeah, as soon as I bought my punk, I bought the domain. I just thought I've got to do something.
Right off the bat, that was probably the first thing after an NFT was just buying that. Tony Herrera's like, you got to buy it, tune it in. We have everyone bumped over from listening on Spaces or watching now. Thanks for tuning in and flipping over the channel over here, where you can kind of get the visual of what the collection that we were talking about there on Spaces. And you could look at right now. And Man, just excellent work. I can just keep thumbing through this and looking at every single color, and this could almost be inspiring to people who dress as dress up and perform as in either
Yeah,
perform.
I mean, Nova, that's an interesting thing because on the X feed, where I've developed this kind of fictionalized AI clown punk who's actually living out like a kind of crypto dream. There's some very, very interesting fashion, and that's something that I want to kind of develop. So that's there along with lots of. I really want to also develop a live AI audio chat bot. I mean, it didn't quite work today, but this is something that's in the wings. So,
The reason it didn't work today, my friend, I know, is because we've had the same trouble because we're streaming on a restream to a stream that is on Spaces, and AP and I have been trying to do it out of DCL, this and that. There is some workarounds to it, but what I would love to see is, that on maybe just a 2 and 4 broadcast, and we can just almost turn it into a little bit of micro content rather than long form that you're hearing today. And there again, about 10, 15 minutes to claim that POAP by typing in clown. And you can retweet in the Novoverse to get live video feed because Space is shut down, but we will still keep on going on. There's a backup plan to everything here. Just pull another lever and we're off and running. Avery Piper, do you have anyone coming up on your shows, 2 and 4 lined up that you want to give us a sneak peek to, or what's happening coming up for you?
Yeah, I have one guest. I'm not going to disclose them yet, but I do have one very special guest. Everybody's very special who's on my show. But yeah, I'm kind of revving back into it, but it should be early this week. I should have my first guest as of me coming back, and then I would love to have 4569 on. I'd love to have some more folks, whoever you recommend, 4569. If you have folks in your circle who you think are interesting, which I can imagine all of them are.
100%.
And yeah, that's all for me. I'm kind of head down working on my project now. Super fascinated in AI artwork. I'm now super inspired. So I think I'll have plenty of my work cut out for me this week. I'll do some research.
And then Punk 4569. How about like the elevator pitch for people who are tuning in now? Where can they find your artwork? Where can they purchase your artwork? Where can they go to check out other inventive things that you're in the process of cooking up?
Yeah, so I think maybe the best place to go to get a kind of overview of the project is ClownpunkX.xyz. So there's the full kind of collection of 50 there. There'll be 200 more going up soon. And that's also got details of the Grin Notes, which is the Clownpunk meme parody coin NFT. Have a look at that. And also, obviously, check out the X feed, which is at Punk4569, where you'll see the kind of unfolding narrative of the crazy clown going on all sorts of adventures, doing really dumb things like going to a pool party in LA on a hotel rooftop with a skateboard. It's a kind of so I would go and check out the X feed and the website, and the art is on Foundation ClownpunkX. So yeah, those are 3 channels to go and check out.
Man, you do have this set up very nicely. It is a very nice website, very simple, clean, gets the artwork right there, so you can take a gander at it. Bravo.
Yeah, there's some pretty wild images there, actually. I mean, I was just, for me, it was I was in a state of amazement when I was actually, when I was working on them. There wasn't much sleep for 2 or 3 months.
Excitement is in. I'm actually building a gigantic clown nose. And I guess this is maybe a segue. Man, I saw Spotty Wi-Fi running around in Nifty Island, and he has this pretty cool spot. Go check it out. And I pulled up with a PlayStation 5 remote, and I just plugged it into my computer. And I pulled my VRM file from the Decentraland of CryptoNovo, and I was running around pretty much playing like an Unreal Engine style of a game in there. And now I'm trying to pull my pixelated. I'm actually building it brick by brick now. Far from what you're accomplishing. Mine is more of like along the lines of Minecraft, I guess you would explain it, not the significance that you have pulled within your AR endeavors. But want to thank everyone for listening tonight. We'll be back next Sunday. I'm just going to keep on keeping on. And, you know, I greatly appreciate the GMs and the awesome follows and the good jokes that you spit out with your content. So.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed it. I mean, it's I've enjoyed interacting with you, and it's been a lot of fun, for me, as well as producing the art, doing the Twitter interactions with the community, who have been very supportive of the project.
Yeah, and I will continue to support, because at first I would say I was apprehensive because I didn't know what kind of jokes you're going to come back with. I try to keep things, PG-13, and I mean they've made me laugh. They're great. It's good back and forth. So wherever I can help, we got the broadcast right here to help a fellow punk out, and any other artist. That's what we do here in the Novoverse.
Thank you.
We're dishing out those POAPs. But definitely take a look at the art that we have in front of us right now, because it is cool, it is fun, it is colorful, it is focused, it is zeroed in, and it is polished. So that's all we have on the Sunday Fun Day. From the Novoverse to you, stay positive and love life. Peace. I don't have any outro music, but
we are in the Novoverse. Great to have you on.